Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we are in day 5 of the 5-star buff booster raid tournament with no yellows. We're going to see if we can finish in the top 1%. Right now I am 18-2 on the week, including that one snafu loss on the very first battle of day 1, where I only brought 2 heroes to a battle. I definitely lost that one. Today's featured hero is going to be Ukkonen. So Ukkonen gives 2 buffs to himself and nearby allies. He's average mana speed, deals 260% damage to all enemies. All enemies get minus 30% attack for 3 turns against ice characters. This status effect becomes uncleansable and lasts 2 turns longer. The caster and nearby allies recover 717 health over 3 turns. The effect duration is reset if the status effect of the owner is hit with direct damage from a special skill, and the caster and nearby allies are immune to buff dispels and reallocations for 3 turns. Ukkonen is really fun to pair with Revna, actually, against Bernadette because of the fact that he makes the buffs non-dispellable and she gives that reflect, so the reflect cannot be dispelled by Bernadette. That's actually been one of my newer Bernadette teams that I have been using, so today we are actually going to be going up against Bernadette, so we're going to be able to see that in action right now. So let's put together my team that I like to use for this, which is going to be Ukkonen and then a couple other reds and Magni. So let's bring in our fire heroes. I'm going to put Ukkonen on this spot over here, actually, with Revna. And I also need Toon Marjana because she'll have a 75% chance to resist the dispel anyway. And then let's bring in Magni. And the same thing goes with Magni, where he will have a 75% chance to resist the buff dispel. And then Ukkonen and the 3 affected heroes won't have that buff dispelled at all. So let's see how this first flag here goes today. And we need 6 reds to get Damon activated. 9 reds for Ukkonen, 8 for Revna. So really 9 since I need to get Revna and Ukkonen together. Let's start off with these purples and blues over here. We did get a nice cascade of reds and a massive blue diamond. I will certainly take that. Awesome. Now, I almost don't want to kill Bernadette because I'd like to get the reflect for the paintings. Let's see if this is probably going to kill her. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's not the end of the world. All right. Let's use Revna first and then Ukkonen. Now, Damon's going to have 3 buffs. Actually, 4 because of his ether power also. And then Marjana and Magni each have 2. They reflect, and then their ether power is actually... Marjana is at 85, so she doesn't have an ether power. Just kidding. All right. We are going to use Magni on Lee Q since he does extra damage to red. He's got that taunt. So this will definitely kill him. 2,214 damage. Thank you very much. Let's see how much damage we can do to Grimsteel with Damon, since he's got 4 buffs. 1427, then we should be able to kill Grimsteel with Marjana, I think. Awesome. Let's ghost these red tiles over here. Just gonna ghost tiles over on the right hand side. Although, what's at this blue diamond? This thing give me Magni. Gotta wait a turn to use Magni until Dula Friller heals. Let's use Revna and Ukkonen first for the buffs, and then Damon and Marjana to attack Dula Friller. Man, she is so strong. And she got the passes where she gets extra health. Thank you for that cascade. Kills off Dula Friller. That way we don't have to deal with them constantly healing. And this battle is over. We are 1 for 1. Next up, we are going to have a Glass Aslar tank team. They've also got Spartoy, Medea. They've got Domitia and Glass Richard. So I'm going to mix up this team a little bit and probably bring in Toon Richard. And I do need a healer in here. Might bring in Nautica. And then maybe a slow speed hero on the right. Yeah, let's bring in Ukkonen. And then I'll bring another red in over here. I like to go 3-2 when I can. Let's bring in Ceres. See how much damage Ceres can do with all those buffs. Alright, let's see how the second flag here goes. Alright, we have a red diamond to start off with. I could match the 3 reds up top and then set off that cascade of reds, but let's take that red diamond for sure. And let's hit that red diamond so that I get my 2 red specials. Let's use Ukkonen first, obviously, for the buffs that he's going to give. And then I need to wait a turn or two to use Ceres so that somebody's mana is over 50%. So let's match these purples and yellows over on the right. There is a strong possibility that the silence is going to get reflected back to Ceres, but that's okay. It's not going to get reflected back to anybody else. And it did. Alright. Everybody got the wither effect, though. And Spartoy also got silenced. Let's see if we can kill Aslar before he goes off. Awesome. Trying to stay away from Medea, but I'm not going to be able to get any specials before she goes off. Let's match these blue tiles now. Alright. So let's try to stay away from matching reds if we can. Give me a blue somewhere. Thank you. Don't kill anybody. Aw, man. Alright, well, let's use Richard on this left side, I think. I'd like to kill Medea before she goes off again. I should be able to kill Domitia with those 3 blue tiles. Let's use the main part of Richard on Medea. Match these blue tiles here. Almost dead for Domitia. Stay alive, Vixen. Thank you. And let's see if we can kill off these 2 over here. Not quite. Gonna match these 4 greens. It's gonna make it so I can match 3 reds next turn. Just kidding. We have enough for a red diamond. Even better. Alright, let's use Ukkonen first. This should be enough to kill Domitia. And Medea. Cool. Now, I want to use Ceres on Richard. The silence will probably reflect, but he's got no mana anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's hit this green dragon and set off that yellow diamond. And Richard to kill Richard. Awesome. All right, we are 2 for 2 today. Next up, we are going to go up against a Malena tank team. Very interesting. So let's take out Ceres and maybe a couple other healers, or heroes rather, and probably bring in a green or 2. Let's see who we've got for options. I could bring in Bramble, Peregrine, Spark Toy. I do like Kolya, especially for his Mega Minion that safely cleanses at the end of each turn. Let's bring in Peregrine. And then I might keep Nautica and Ixen. I would like a Dispeller in case if name goes off, though. Let's bring in Blossom, maybe? You know what? I'm going to keep it the way it is. Because name is on the flank over there, he'll have less of a chance to go off. And if I can get some specials going, we should be able to kill him before he goes off. All right, I'm going to start off with these purples and blues in the middle. It's going to set off a couple cascades of the purples on the right and then also some yellows underneath. Going to match these blues all the way on the left before they get separated. Going to match these 3 greens on the bottom right before they get separated. Let's match these 3 reds on the bottom right. I'm going to move this one purple dragon over to the right. That way I can match some blues the next turn. Just going to allow me to heal and get Ixen special. All right, let's use Nautica first, and then we're going to have Ixen and Peregrine, which I'm going to want to use on the right over here. We're going to use Ixen first, obviously, for the extra damage, and we should be able to kill Milena with either that or with Peregrine. That did a ton of damage. All right, now I want to... The obvious move here is obviously to match that red diamond, but that's not going to be enough to kill Naeem, I don't think. So what I want to do is match the 3 reds on the left. That's going to set off a cascade of yellows and then reds. It's going to move up that 1 blue tile, and I'm really hoping we can get another blue tile to match horizontally. Right here, we did not. I was hoping to kill Naeem before he went off and Maisie healed him. Alright, let's use Ukkonen, and then I'm going to match these 3 greens here. See if we get a blue now, and we did get one that time. Name's definitely going to be dead, and that's going to set off that blue diamond with that cascade. Must have gotten a couple critical hits because Maisie's max health has decreased severely over there. Alright, let's use Ixen on the left over here, and then I'm going to use Kolya. Alright. Everybody's almost dead. Let's match these 4 yellows up in the middle. Just going to try to ghost tiles if we can. Let's match these 3 greens, or rather 3 reds, with the 4 greens. Hrothgar's dead, and Maisie should be dead unless if she continues to revive. Cool. Alright, we are now 3 for 3. Next up, we are going to go up against a dueler filler tank team. So we definitely need some dispellers in here because that Firestorm ward and the ailment immunity that she gives is very annoying. So let's bring in Blossom and let's do a little reset here. Definitely going to bring in Blossom. And I need some strong hitters. Who else do they have? They have Glass Hero, so Naeem is not going to work out with that counterattack. Let's bring in... Maybe Domi, Ventus, and Gestalt. I like the idea of going heavy with reds. Yeah, let's do that. And then I'll bring in another healer of a different color in case if we can't get reds. Let's bring in maybe Fungusine. He adds a lot of buffs also. Or she, rather. Okay, let's go into battle with this here. All right, decent board with those 4 reds and then the greens on the middle rightish over there. Nice cascading, and Domi, Ventus, and Gestalt both activate in just 7 tiles, so let's match these 3 reds. That's probably going to give Deliver her special. So I am actually going to wait. Even though Gestalt and Domi, Ventus have their specials, I'm going to wait because the ailment immunity block and then also the Firestorm ward. So let's match these 3 red tiles to give me Blossom to dispel. And then we're going to use Ukkonen to give him and Gestalt and Domi, Ventus some buffs. And then let's hit the 3 on the left over here with Domi, Ventus first, since I can control where he goes. And then let's use Gestalt. Alright, Jasarnia and Ukkonen are both dead. Awesome. Let's match these 3 purples on the left. Probably just going to try to ghost tiles if I can. Let's match these 3 reds ghosted. Or do I want to try to make something else happen? Yeah, let's match these 3 greens here. I'd like to kill Dulafriller with the tiles if we can. We're going to use Fungusine first, though, to give like 2 or 3 extra buffs. Yeah, we are loaded with buffs right now. These 3 red tiles will definitely kill Dulafriller. That was a lot of damage. Okay. Now, let's match these yellows and blues together so that I can get those 3 reds ghosted. Perfect. We've got everybody special except Fungusine. Alright, let's use Blossom first to dispel. And they're gloss costumes, so they will get dispelled. And then let's use Ukkonen and Domi, Ventus, and then Gestalt. This might do it. If not, those 3 red tiles will. Nah, there's no way those cubes are not going to kill those 2. All right. We are 4 for 4 today. Right now, already in the top 1%. And we're ranked 43-39. So we definitely need a win in this last battle to secure a top 1% performance. And I am thinking about bringing the same team. Except for the fact that Domi, Ventus and Ukkonen and Gestalt all give ailments, which have a good chance of getting reflected back, which is not ideal. So I may switch things up a little bit here, actually. Let's take out these 2 and... Or actually, you know what? If I just bring in Kolya with that safely cleansing Mega Minion, then I can at least have one of them. Although I don't think I really need Blossom for this battle because they don't have any buff givers other than Obakhan. Yeah, let's take out Blossom, and actually I'm going to bring in the other 2 reds that I just had, and we'll just have the 1 healer, which we should be fine with. Gestalt and Domi, Ventus. Alright, let's go into battle with this. See how this last flag here goes. I am going to start off with the 3 blues on the left. We have a 20% chance to get a red diamond right off the bat. We did not. Let's match the 3 yellows on the left to move that green over. And now let's see if I can get lucky with a red tile on the bottom. Nope. Let's match these 3 purples on the left. That's going to set up that cascade of greens and maybe another green. Yes, we did get another green. And reds to set up a red diamond. I was actually only hoping for 1 to set up a red dragon. That works even better. Ukkonen almost died, but then he healed himself. Let's use Fungustine first for the heal and the buffs. And then I'm going to use Kolya to give me that safely cleansing Mega Minion. Match this red diamond. Domichia is dead. We're going to attack the 2 on the left with Ukkonen first to attack all, and then Domi Ventus. Or actually, do I want to attack the 2 on the right before Ukkonen gets his counterattack? Yes, I do. Now, let's use Gestalt, see where those cubes go. Alright, Ukkonen is dead. Hitting the red diamond does not help me because it only gives me 7 red tiles. I've got 4 on the board and 1 would get ghosted. So let's match these 3 greens on the top right, setting off that cascade of greens underneath. Give me a red. We did get 1. And another one. Okay, that will definitely be enough for me to get my red specials. And I will match this red diamond. Not that I probably need it, but this might kill them anyway, and it did, yeah. All right, perfect. We went 5 for 5 today to finish off this raid tournament, and right now in the top 1%, ranked 2557. That should be enough to hold on to the top 1%. It's about the top 4,500, top 5,000-ish that get top 1%. And on defense, not doing so hot this week. We've got an E rating, although we have had a few wins lately, but we started off with like 10 losses right in a row. So not good there, but again, should still be able to get top 1%. Let me know how your 5-star buff booster raid tournament went this week. And that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful. And if you did, hit that like button, make sure you're subbed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.